Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry it's been quite a bit since I've released a video. I'm pregnant with my third. We moved into a new house. We had so many changes. It was very overwhelming, just to say the least. And I'm excited to be back. I did ask my Instagram followers if they were interested in a story on how my husband and I were able to conceive at this point after 2 years of just no success. And there were it's a lot of heartache too through that journey. I'm so grateful to have 2 children. I didn't have any issues with those 2 pregnancies, able to conceive. This time around, having Hashimotos, and then also just different exposures that I had, and then my health in general, different things I didn't consider. That was something that I've learned through this. So I just wanted to share it with you all to see if maybe this could be something very helpful to someone else who is on this journey as well. So I did write some notes here. You'll see me looking down. Just wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything along the way. But I wanted to start with the whole process with us. It was our journey, really. It was 2 years of no success. And that was really discouraging because I've come so far in terms of just my health in general and my diet and all the different things I've changed in my life since I did find out I had Hashimotos. So when my husband and I were trying to conceive, it was very discouraging every month and just know, okay, yet again, a negative pregnancy test. So that was something that I just ended up kind of accepting and thinking maybe there's something else that's wrong. I was working with a doctor and she did say my health in general looked fine. So there was no red flags. But after just so long with no answers, I was basically fed up and decided to yet again become my own health advocate and look for another doctor and someone who was able to really dig deeper. So at that point, I did work with I did see a gynecologist to see if there's anything anatomically wrong. She looked at my ovaries. I did have a cyst at one point, but nothing major. And she basically told me, oh, you're probably just not ovulating. And when I tried to ask why, then she basically said, oh, that just happens to some people, and didn't give me any explanation, which was really unfortunate for someone who was in my position. She basically was like, okay, just look into a fertility doctor. She did mention it could be your husband too. So that was something that I did consider because obviously it takes 2. So that was something that we had considered at one point, but I was like, no, I don't feel right about that. I really want to be able to look deeper and figure out what exactly is going on. So that's when I found a really great doctor. She lived about an hour away from me, and I did a virtual appointment with her. And she was very thorough. Just her questions in general were very, very thorough. She wanted to know everything about me, everything about just what I was exposed to, and just my diet, and just literally every aspect of my life. So after our first appointment, she ordered a ton of labs. I went to Quest Labs and they literally were in shock, and they're like, we never have patients with this much blood work. So I was actually really encouraged because it just helped me to just really feel like this doctor really cared, and she really wanted to look at the whole picture of what's going on with my health. So another thing that I didn't mention was that with this time frame in my life, I was living in a apartment complex. It was kind of a high rise. It was about 6 stories. But either way, this apartment complex had mold issues in it, and that was something I didn't even realize or consider. Both bathrooms were super musky. You could smell this strong smell, and there were issues that the maintenance would have to come and check on. There was like holes around the tub and they had to keep on filling it, and then also where the spout was. So that was something that I was definitely very oblivious to, I guess. I just honestly didn't think twice about that. And then we had our carpets removed at one point, and they were steam cleaned at one point. A lot of water sat on there for a while. I remember that, walking around and just like our socks just being wet. So just from that too, we eventually had our carpets replaced, but there were still like water stains, and that definitely was another source. So that's something that I later learned through testing through my doctor. Another thing was the amount of cell towers that were around us as well. It's something most people just don't even think about or consider. There is a website, and I'll put it below, where it'll show you how many cell towers are around you. And that's something that can really interfere with your health as well. So let me see here. The other thing was stress. I was under quite a bit of stress during this time. I was homeschooling my kids for the first time. I was also working full-time, a new job I had never done before. And like, these were all at different times, but just through these 2 years, that was a lot of stress that I just didn't think twice about. And I think with that chronic stress, I just got used to functioning under that stress, and not to mention trying to conceive and then nothing. So that was really discouraging as well. The other thing with my doctor was that, or just with my health in general, is I noticed when I was working with my previous doctor that it felt like my health just kind of plateaued. I didn't really feel like, I just felt like okay, but not the best. And I knew that things were off, but she reassured me that like, oh, your levels look fine. So yet again, I felt like I was in the same position that I was years ago. And so I knew I needed to dig deeper. So with this doctor, she basically she did a full thyroid panel. She tested me for heavy metals, for mold, for, there are different blood markers that can tell you also with mold exposure, like if you have mold exposure. And that was like that was just like in the thousands when it was supposed to be like 2,000 and below. So I was like in the 10,000s, which is crazy. The other thing is my overall inflammation was high, and that was also a blood marker that she checked. Also markers for inflammation, like from previous pneumonia and from dairy, gluten, all kinds of blood levels that you can look at. All of mine were just through the roof. Also my autoimmune marker, which is like your ANA, that's a other blood marker that was positive. And my hormone levels were showing signs of PCOS. And also the other thing was I had low vitamin D, low vitamin C. I had been supplementing for a while, so I was in shock that these levels were just so low. Also, there's another level for, I think it's like your heart or something like that. That was also in high levels as well, which I was kind of shocked about. So then she basically, after that, you know, we talked, she put me on a protocol. And also I had issues with my gut from a lab that she also looked at as well. So I was completely just all kinds of issues going on. And so then that was really helpful to see. It was an eye-opener for me that it wasn't just one thing, it was just multiple factors that she had explained to me to consider. So through that, she put me on a protocol. I was taking quite a bit of supplements. That part of it was really overwhelming, but I wanted to do whatever it took to just get healthier and also to be able to conceive. So then I was taking a protocol for killing off bacteria in my gut. And then also I was taking binders, because when that is released, and that's, you know, goes throughout your body, but you need a binder to be able to remove that from your body. So I was taking that. I was taking a natural nasal spray for the upper respiratory infection. I was taking some iron. I was taking glutathione, liposomal, which is better for you to absorb. I was taking something for my mitochondria, and then also I was taking, it was really kind of, I was a little nervous initially, but I was taking these, they came in little vials, and they were like injections, but they're called peptides. And there's 2 different ones that help to restore damaged tissue. So this is like a newer thing, but she also was explaining there's been enough studies to show that it's been very, very helpful for a lot of people. So I was taking 2 different injections for this. One was BPC 157, and then the other one was, I forgot to put that one here, thymosin beta 4. Sounds crazy, but she reassured me, and I really trusted this doctor with how much work she had done with like looking at the whole picture. And then in addition to that, I was taking probiotics, adaptogenics for my adrenals, omegas for my, those levels were off as well in my blood work. And then I was taking enzymes with my meals to absorb them better. Magnesium, zinc, selenium, and there was other things in there. Yeah, so there were a few other things too, so I will not bore you with all the many things I was taking, but it was for a season. So basically that is the protocol that I went through with my doctor. I did that for about 2 to 3 months. Trying to remember, I believe it was about 3 months. So that was something, and also with my diet, I made sure to just eat better quality. And I wasn't 100%, to be honest. I just was doing the best that I could because I didn't want to stress myself out with changing my diet to something crazy and removing absolutely everything, because she had mentioned removing basically everything, going through an elimination diet again. And I was like, I don't have the patience for this in this season of life with all these new supplements I'm taking as well. So I took all this, and then I did another blood work. She didn't do as many. It was just the levels that were like pretty high initially. And I was amazed with the improvement that my body made. It was like my body just needed these extra nutrients to heal and to restore itself. And I'm not 100%. It wasn't like I went from, point A to point B and everything was perfect, but it definitely was really big improvements in a short period of time. One huge thing that I was actually really excited to see was that my overall inflammation in my body went down into a normal level. Before it was like off the charts. And then also important things like my DHEA improved, also that vascular level that was high for like my heart, that level improved. And then also for the other levels like my vitamin D, just a lot of the other important levels, even my thyroid levels, they all basically improved. So that was so encouraging. And after that, I was able to, I think it was maybe a month later, I was able to get pregnant. Unfortunately, I had a miscarriage that month. But then the following month, right after that, we got pregnant. And I was over the moon, so excited, especially after those 2 years and after going through the protocol and after just really just working so hard to improve my health. We were so excited, and I thank the Lord because obviously I trust that God is sovereign in that, and that He had a purpose in just the waiting period, and then just the wisdom to find a doctor and to work with them and to be diligent with my health. So that's one thing, or I just wanted to give you just like a synopsis of all of that. So if you're trying to conceive, please consider all the different factors that you could be exposed to, and obviously working with a doctor that is willing to dig deeper with you. So that, I would say, is huge. Make sure you're, the basics, the foundations of your health, like you're eating a wholesome diet, you're reducing the stress in your life, you're consuming enough water, you're exercising, you're exposing yourself to the sun, you're doing the basics. And if you're still not able to conceive, then dig deeper, look into your hormone levels, a doctor that can look at the bigger picture, your hormones, your gut, and there may be even like a few things that are off. And once you normalize those, then your body is able to function to an optimal level where it feels safe enough to, to carry a child. So that's what I wanted to share. And then also for those of you that are struggling and looking for somebody to really work with you through this process, I do offer a free 20-minute consult just to give you an idea of what it would look like to work with me. And I really dig deeper with my clients, and I have you do a full intake, and we talk about foundations of your health and your diet, and I give recommendations, but I basically help you get on that path so that you are able to start somewhere and have some information and some guidance, because it can be extremely overwhelming. So I'd be more than happy to chat with you to see how I can help you. There will be a link below for you to click on so that you can set that call up with me. I also do have a free ebook that I have finally finished, and I will put that link below too, where you can start today with looking into changes that could really make a huge difference in your health. There's a lot of really, really helpful information in there for you. So that's just something I wanted to offer, because I know that with me years ago, I wish I would have had something like that, just for some guidance that I didn't have to pay for and I could just start. Anyways, I know this was really long. I was trying to be very short with this, but obviously there's a lot of information that is not in here, but I wanted to just summarize it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and you can follow me along on Instagram. I have more day-to-day tips and information I share on there, but I'm so grateful that you have taken the time to listen to my story, and I really hope that this information can help you. And just don't give up. There's so much that you can do for your health. Don't be discouraged. Just know that it takes time. Your body, especially if there's been years of destruction, if you will, eating a certain way, living a certain lifestyle, it's going to take time to heal. So again, thank you so much, and I look forward to sharing another awesome video with you guys. Have a good day.